Hey, I talked to you guys previously in a video about your first 48 hours with a lead and how extremely important those first 48 hours in getting those touch points in is. But let me ask you something. Where do your 90-day leads go? Anything that's beyond those first 48, what are you doing with those more longer term leads? So, Doug here, I'm a real estate coach that helps agents grow through proven systems, strategies, and business planning. Here's the truth about some of those 90 plus day leads. These people that are looking 6 to 12 months out, a lot of agents, we like to put them on the back burner and think, okay, if they come back around, that's great. But the reality is, these are the ones who become the backbone of a stable, predictable real estate business. They allow you to plan ahead and look at the future and know when things are coming in. But it takes work and it takes tracking and it takes staying in front of these leads for that to happen. So I want to talk to you guys today about some simple ways to turn those slow burn leads into a profitable, predictable real estate business. Let's start with the simplest one, the most effective one. This is a way to organize your long-term nurture campaigns. It's called the three-tiered lead system. And here's the breakdown. You've got hot leads, which are 0 to 3 months out, warm leads that are 3 to 6 months out, and cold leads that are 6 months plus or your sphere of influence. Your hot leads, these are active shoppers. They're clicking listings, replying to texts, asking questions. You should be engaging them every 2 to 3 days. You should not be going longer than 3 days without connecting with them or reaching out to them to stay in front of them as they're hot. This can be a mix of calls, texts, relevant emails about homes, but those touch points, make sure you're touching them every 2 to 3 days. Your warm leads, these are ones that are 3 to 6 months out. They're planning a move, just not yet. There's a real reality of why they're not pulling the trigger today. Could be that they're in a lease. Maybe they're saving for a down payment. Maybe they've got something with a job that's got to happen first. But there's a real reason, but they are going to do something. These ones need some kind of weekly value-based contract, not daily pressure and not weekly pressure. These are people who will convert if you stay a part of their world. So give them something value based every week that might look different. Maybe that's a market update one week and then through an email. And then the next week is a text message just saying, hey, I was thinking about you as I was showing some houses and just want to check in and see how things are doing. Maybe the week after that is a phone call to just say, hey, haven't talked to you in a few weeks, just wanted to connect and see how everything's moving forward for you guys in life. Maybe if there's a birthday or an anniversary or something important that they've shared about their life, give them a call about that. Do something value based to stay in touch with them over that time. Then you've got your cold leads. These are 6 plus months out. These are your long-term plays. They're the maybe later group, the I'm not sure what I'm doing group. But don't write them off. Zillow data actually shows that many buyers take 6 to 12 months before they're ready to talk to an agent. So they might have been on a website or mentioned to a friend that referred them to you or some other area. They just happen to check it out because they're like, hey, I think I might want to buy a house. But they're not at the place where they're actually ready to do it. So connecting with them in a hot or warm aspect is not going to be the way to go. But staying in front of them, they may do something in the next 6 to 12 months. So your job is simple. You just want to stay present. You don't want to push them. You don't want to offer things that may or may not help. You just want to be present. You're building a relationship with them because that's exactly what it is. You're building a relationship with these leads where they are. So don't push your agenda or your needs as an agent onto them. Just stay present. Connect with them once a month just to see how they're doing. So, what is a value driven approach to this? One way is a value driven calendar. So, I want to talk to you about what to say and send over the next 12 months to some of these longer term leads. Your long term nurture needs, they need, like I mentioned, they need to be value driven. So, not a are you ready approach or vibe to it. So, here's a simple calendar that you can take and you can give to yourself to provide that value driven content. People love knowing what their market is doing every month. So send a short update. Send a monthly market report with prices, inventory, interest rates, a simple takeaway that you have for it, that kind of explains it in layman's terms. A lot of agents, they'll send out a report that they get from an expert about, hey, look what our market's doing. I want to share this with you, and they send out this whole report that the general public doesn't understand. So send them what prices are doing, what their inventory is doing, what interest rates are doing, but also provide your takeaway and what it is that you think they should, why they should be looking at this and what it means to them. Because it's not going to then just present them as you gave them information, but it actually starts to present you as a local economist and an expert in their area that they want to use, as well as also providing them information that is not something they would typically find themselves and understand. In this world that we live in, most people want to know, what are you going to provide me that I can't provide myself? One of those things is market expertise and local economy expertise. You can do that by providing a summary of the information that you're sending them. And then do a quarterly check-in call. Just 4 calls a year, once a quarter. Just say something to the effect of, hey, just checking in to see how your plans are coming along. No rush. Just want to touch base. It's been a couple months since I talked to you. Warm leads appreciate this more than you think. I've talked to consumers repeatedly over the last year that said they were looking, they had signed a lease, they needed to save for a down payment, they were working on their credit score, whatever the reason was that they didn't buy today. And then 6, 7, 8 months go by, and I'll come by them again and talk to them again, and they've ended up buying. And I'll ask them, why didn't you use the agent that you were working with 6 months ago? And they say, I never heard from them again. I didn't know to call them again. Another agent reached out when we were ready. So these quarterly check-in calls can allow you to stay in contact and make them feel like they are top of mind for you. You are still thinking about them, and you do still want to help them. And they appreciate that way more than you think. And then for your cold leads and your SOI, they need touch points. So do things like holidays. Reach out and wish them a happy holidays. Maybe over Thanksgiving, before that, you do a pie day or a homeowners workshop, or you have a client appreciation barbecue, or something to that effect. But do something around holidays or events that will allow you to stay in touch with them. You're planting these seeds, and people, whether they're past clients, they're your sphere of influence, they're current clients, or they're just leads that are in the waiting period, these can be your biggest referral partners. Somebody who's waiting 12 months to buy a house, but you stay in front of them, you show how valuable you are as an agent, you show how much you care about them getting into the right place. When they come across their neighbor that's looking to buy, who do you think they're going to refer them to? You. So do something around these events, holidays, birthdays, things like that, to stay in contact with them. Plant those seeds and let those seeds grow and be nurtured consistently into more and more production for you. So now I want to talk to you guys about leverage. We've talked about leads and the 3 categories or the 3 tiers and how often we should follow up them, how important it is to stay in front of those cold leads that a lot of agents forget about. Now let's talk leverage. You don't have the time to manually email 200 people every month. I get it. You don't have the time to go through your list every week and track who is it time to call or not. Again, this is where your CRM becomes your business partner. It's going to help you keep on track. You need an automation bridge. Build a 12-month marketing update email. Build a template for that. Add in 3 to 4 quarterly check-in reminders for yourself to where it just pops up on your calendar to call John Smith for their quarterly check-in. Create an annual event or kind of annual outreach for a holiday. Build that into the automation so that it's specific. One of the common ones that every agent does is, let's reach out around Christmas and wish everybody a happy holidays. I get that. But if they're getting bombarded with multiple agents and you want to stand out, maybe you pick a different holiday. Maybe you pick something like you want to do an event around a Memorial Day for all your past clients, sphere of influence, and cold leads. Or maybe it's just you want to just reach out to them, check that. But build those reminders into your annual automation. And then set tasks for personal messages, things like birthdays, congratulations on anniversaries, things like that, things that these leads or sphere of influence might share with you or that you know of. Put those in so that you have those reminders of, and you don't have to think about it the day of and try to remember who has a birthday today. It just pops up. You call them, you wish them a happy birthday. It means a lot to know that you think about them personally. And then put each lead into the correct tier drip sequence. I see a lot of agents that either don't move their new leads ever out of hot, and then eventually they're just going through their list and they're like trying to pick and choose which ones they're going to call that day because they're not in the right system. Or I see a lot of agents that move new leads too quickly to a cold lead and a 12-month drip when really they should be in a 3 to 6 month drip. So if somebody tells you that they're 12 months out, cut that time in half. They're really 6 months because that's the latest you should be connecting with them to start talking about what their plans are. If they say they're 6 months out, cut that to 3 months, but put them in the appropriate tier that allows you to follow up with them appropriately in the best case to connect. Using this kind of automation and building yourself an automation bridge, it's going to let you automate 80% of your nurture while still showing up personally for the 20% that are ready to go now and need that more personal touch today. This is how top agents are able to stay top of mind 365 days a year without burning out or letting leads slip through the cracks. It allows them to push through that and take care of what they need to take care of today while also nurturing the seeds for the future. So here's a challenge for you. If you've watched this video and you think, okay, I want to get on board. How do I do this? Where do I start? Here's your challenge. Pick one thing from today, whether that's a monthly market update, a quarterly check-in, or a CRM drip, and you've got 7 days to activate it and make it roll out. So if you pick monthly marketing update, you've got 7 days to get a monthly marketing update put in place and get it sent out to your leads. It's the long-term systems that'll fill your pipeline all year long. So start with one piece, build that out, then do the next and the next. If you're committed, but you're not quite sure where the best place for you to start is, or you want to talk more about how you should categorize your leads in tiers, and you'd like to look at, hey, after a lead comes in and I've hit that 48-hour mark, I'm not quite sure what to do, and you want a little bit more guidance, drop a comment below that says nurture, and we'll reach out to schedule a 15-minute no pressure call just to go through what your business currently looks at and where your struggles are and what might be able to help. You can also always click the link and just schedule a time yourself. But remember, your next 12 months are decided by your follow-up that you do today. So let's get things started, get people in the right tiers, get the right automation set up, and get things rolling for your business.